Hi everyone. Well, I want to talk to you about the plasma body activation. If you are in resonance with the information that I am sharing, then you have probably listened to me talk about this and all these plasma wave news that more and more are also resonating in the scientific community, in the spiritual community, because the importance of plasma is imperant for human evolution, at least at this stage, because actually we are ready to activate our plasma body. So, first of all, what is plasma? Well, plasma is mostly known as the fourth state of matter, and normally when we think of matter, we think about something dense, something visible, and actually it's not always like this. Because then again, as if we take into consideration all this polarization theory that involves that there are two forces opposing one another or complementing one another, then we evolve into the next level, which is it's one force just at different ranges of its own spectrum of light. So let's say we are increasing the gradients of point A until it gets to C. So if we see from A to Z, so if we take a look at this, it's just one abecedary, one alphabet, and it's just evolving the frequency that each one of these letters emanate, yet they are one same constant, which is the alphabet. So this is the same about light. We know that like the rainbow, there are 7 colors, and if we take into consideration the black and the white, then we have 9. And when we go from the white to the black, then we will see that at some point the black and the white are interconnected, because the white contains all the colors, and actually the black could be considered as the absence of all the colors. However, it is the communion of the purple at a very compressed form. And if we know what the purple is, it is blue and red coming together. And what does the blue and red represent? They represent the 2 poles, right? When we go to these Hermetic texts, or all these ancient, well, actually it would be like the evolution of those ancient texts that perceive the feminine and the masculine in red and blue and everything, you know, like when we go into the cables, there is a blue one and a red one representing the feminine and the negative and the masculine and so forth. So what I'm trying to express by this is that the plasma is that full spectrum of light. And that even if we go at a Planck scale, which is a minimal variant within the whole spectrum of the ranges that we can go through from Planck scale, which would be the minimum, all the way to Schwarzschild scale, which is a cosmic scale. Imagine the atom and the quark and subquark and so forth. Well, this is when we are relating to the Planck scale, it's the most, I wouldn't say minuscule, because actually it's very potent. It's actually the minimum microscopical form of expression of a particle of light, or within a particle of light. So, yeah, and I say within because if we go through fractals, then of course the Planck itself, the Planck unit, is a particle of light, and then when we go higher into the scale, then the Planck unit becomes a part of light within a particle of light, and so forth. So, well, imagine that the plasma, there is plasma in our blood. Actually, it's the 55% of every drop in our blood is related. It's constituted by plasma. So you can get a picture of like how important it is, the plasma. And even though we can, and well, the plasma in our blood represents the purest expression of the whole components in our blood. Actually, this is used to regenerate, to rejuvenate, to all like very complex processes to actually achieve a very deep impact in the biology, like taking like making people who is experiencing cancer, you know, like recover from that experience and restore their health. And also, for instance, yeah, because you can grow your own cells through that plasma, because it is the stem cells, the mother cells within our blood, and it's pure in them, and they're located in very specific parts of our body, like the bone marrow, like the spinal fluid, and also in the T cells, which are quite related to the white platelets and so forth. So anyway, now how can this relate? Is that the plasma body? No, that's part of the plasma body. Now there is another expression of the plasma which is not as dense as the blood, and which is so beautiful, because if we think of the blood, we are thinking about the vital force that keeps us, you know, like circulating within this reality. And now if we go through another scale, which is the relation of plasma to the light. Well, we know that fire is a form of plasma. Water could be this fluid plasma. Air could be this suspended plasma in particles, which we can see. Actually, we see suspended particles of light in our surrounding if we tune, like if we open our third eye. And also, like, we can see plasma in the soil through all those components that actually are regenerating continuously within the very same earth. So that's why the plasma is the ether, because it has the four elements in one, which is the ether, just at different scales. So yes, there are the four elements, and also we have the communion of all those four resulting into the ether. So now about the four elements, fourth state of matter, and what in school, you know, they somehow related to the plasma. Plasma is not always evident, as I was saying. It's sometimes suspended in the space, you know, as these particles of light beaming that are interconnected into one another. So there is just not one particle there and one randomly over there. They're all interconnected, and that interconnection is plasma as well. And that plasma that interconnects those particles of light, we can call it the Planck plasma, which is the microscopical manifestation of a unit that actually is intertwining, is entangling all the space and shaping what we get to see as matter. So that's why it's the ether. No, it's everywhere. And it's also that we can also call it the 0-point energy, because actually what makes matter possible is the 0-point energy, because the 0-point energy allows coherence to be. So the things that are not in coherence are compressed into another form of coherence, which is the matter. Again, in scales. And that's where the plasma body comes. So, and I say this because I am delivering, I'm offering an online course that it's about to start on the plasma body activation. Why? Well, before I will explain. So, we have our plasma body, you know, beyond the blood, the constitution of the blood. And it is that light body that can also be related to our source code, which is our geometrical body, yet at another scale. Because then, if we have our geometrical light body, which is all this luminescent geometry, unique geometry, that is allowing us to be in and within the holofractographic universe, because that's how the holofractographic universe functions, through geometries. So if we didn't have a geometrical body, we wouldn't be capable to be in this reality. So of course, it's like, imagine you put yourself sunglasses and then you're capable to see beyond the matter. What constitutes actually the matter, let's say the exoskeleton, and actually, or we could say the pillars that are conforming, that construct our body, and that actually are beaming for our matter to continue existing. If we didn't have an electromagnetic field, if we didn't have a gravitational field, we wouldn't be able to have a geometrical body. So now, imagine that you have this beautiful geometrical light body, which I call source code, and it starts to radiate and expand and unfold into a double torus, which is mainly the vesica Pisces, which we get to translate at a bidimensional scale. But when we unfold it at a five-dimensional scale, then we are looking at a double torus. Well, actually, it would be more if we unfold it from a 3D to a 4D, which we would be communing and then forming another shape instead of being the vesica Pisces. Then it would be sucking into one another and then creating all this fabulous dynamic flow. And then the five-dimensional form of perception would be a double torus entangled to one another, communing with their singularity, and therefore it would be another form of vesica Pisces, yet more complex, which derive exactly into a black hole in the center, which is the eye. And what the code of the fish related to Pisces, Phi Isis, means. But that's another story which I will be talking about in another video. So bottom line, now imagine that beautiful geometrical light body of yours starts to irradiate and expand and then create a sphere. That sphere is your plasma spherical body. And that body is the one that you will see in different depictions in the ancient texts, in the ancient hieroglyphics and paintings and so forth, that you have all these beings with these spheres behind their heads, or even they are surrounded by this spherical body, which is their body, just unfolded through all this electrical current that is compressed through the coherence that the 0-point energy generates. And that's when levitation happens, and that's when telepathy happens, and that's when telekinesis happens. Because you're capable to irradiate in such a state of coherence your light, your beaming light, that it expands as lightnings, of course, not forcefully seen, yet felt. They can be seen. That's actually why they would say about the prophets that all these angels and gods came in this spherical fire chariots, because they were their plasma body. And why would we need to activate this? And mostly, are we capable to do that? Yes, we are. That's why the solar is emanating all those plasma storms for us to integrate the codes of our own sun. It's like leaving that inheritance before it fades away. So it is bringing and emitting all these plasma codes through its solar flares. And if we ignite our antennas, our plasmic antennas within our spherical body, then we are capturing all that plasma, we're mirroring into it and expanding it into this beautiful feedback. So, and this was an initiation process in the ancient times. All the ones that were in the mystery school, it was very important to actually begin this path, yet only the Heka masters would actually embody the full luminescence of their plasma body. Not dissolving their body, which is different, it's another level of plasma, that would be like a rainbow plasma, which is literally lightening up your body and firing it into ashes. And the plasma body that I'm talking about, which is beautiful, I'm laughing because it's like, why would I want that? You know, you might be asking yourself. So no, this is another level of plasma body, which is in order to unfold your psionic skills and much more. Activating your dormant genes related to regeneration, rejuvenation, also expanding your neuronal field up to the space memory network in order to, from a state of awareness, interconnect to that akasha and bringing all that information, not just for knowingness, yet to embody whatever you are required to embody. And this goes through a very high tech, because it doesn't go through the cognitive thinking process. Like it doesn't begin through the cognitive thinking, like, okay, I have to do this and I have to do that. Of course you go through that. However, how it brings it first is from an energetic from the energy at an energetic scale, which is high enough in order to ignite, I would say fire up, but not literally, to ignite those memories within you and permeate it within your electromagnetic field at a level that you are easily and simply capable to mirror into those memories and embody them. In other words, be them. You know, when it comes to connecting to the Akasha through only the cognitive thinking, then it's most likely that you will go to the process, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to... And that's part of it, of course, regardless what process or path you choose. However, when you are coming from a state of isolating from the memory just as an observer, then it's harder for you to acknowledge that you are that memory. And you might know that, but perhaps you don't feel it. You're just convincing yourself that you have been through those memories, and then it's important for you to transcend them or to bring it to you and activate them to use them in this lifetime or in this space-time constant. However, when you connect with that through your plasma body, then what you are doing, as I was saying, is imagine this electric current interconnecting like this neuronal synapses, and then you're empowering your neurons with the space memory network, and then you start to vibrate that information and embody that information because you're activating it. So it's not about learning anymore, it's about remembering, ergo being. So another thing is that through the plasma body activation, we go through the retrieval of most of your energy that had like progressively achieving the retrieval of all your energy that you might have left in space-time constants related to soul memories, related to transgenerational, related to egregores, regarding to the control system that are harvesting the energy within the human as batteries, and that were inherent anchors that were placed in the human vessel in order for precisely that as much as the human would do, the reality wouldn't torsion completely, wouldn't flip completely. Because there are very specific anchors. It's like when you have this boat and you put a lot of hidden weight, no matter how you try to, to fold it, it comes back, So it's the same. Are these energetic anchors? I was talking about this yesterday in my video about harvesting control systems in humanity in relation to the energy. And well, so if you want to know more about this, then you will probably find my video in resonance with you. Then we go through all the retrieval of all that energy in a very specific way, which is through the holofractographic field, through specific algorithms. Of course, also the retrieval through that was of all the parts of the emotional body that are, attached to events, people, egregores, and so forth. Also, the retrieval of implant, like removing implants, and then again retrieving all that energy and information that was limited through those implants in order to cleanse it and then bring it alive within you, awaken it within you. Also, of course, this influences and it can easily be seen in your capability of rising your frequency, and also of increasing your intelligence, because you are gaining back your energy, you're restoring your energy that you can be using to activate a higher percentage of your brain, or to enhance the functioning of your mitochondria to have more energy, because that's also another thing that we do, interconnect with very specific star systems, because these celestial bodies are plasma, as we know, and when we connect with through our plasma body, we're speaking the same language, and then it's easier to access to all those archives, which are quite related to specific algorithms that were configured to not only, some of them to control and sustain the phantom matrix, other ones were actually to transcend the illusion. So, yeah. Having said this, it's a very complete course that you will go through, like, layer by layer, through your chakras, dankins, glands, joints, releasing and restoring all your energy, cleansing it before it access to your field, and bringing it from a state of coherence to your highest evolutive purpose. And also, once you have all of that, then there is a very specific way to ignite your plasma body, which involves, of course, the Heka, actually the Ka, the Varaka, which is the vital force coming from the body in relation to the soul and in relation to the spirit. So when you bring all these three together, then you are actually bringing your serpentine forces into its full luminescence, which is the rainbow serpent. And this rainbow serpent multiplies by 32, expands its wings into the 33, and then you achieve what is also known the Christic consciousness, which is the particle of light is spinning at 144,000 cycles per second, which is the harmonic speed of light. And then it will be easier for you to embody all those psionic skills, because the plasma is related to the longitudinal wave emission coming from us into the space memory network, which is everything that is suspended, all the information suspended in the field, and therefore receive all this feedback that expands our consciousness from a unified space. And it's a beautiful course, and I'm very pleased and blessed to share this information. And thank you for watching this video. If you're interested in joining this course, online course, you can write to the email that I will be writing in the description below this video. Looking forward to see you, for you to join us in this adventure, in this online course, that the more that you get to see how the ancient ones talk about or showed plasma, it's everywhere. And science is heading that way. So as fractals and as an extension of the source to all, also spiritually we are already there. So the science of the spirit.
Minigala urukut nekli eriak nasu. Baliakara ateli tarianau kulumiati saliakari tarianau kulu. Hamai itia aluri neki hamia ili ini kurun. Hamai anei any hamai about uri ni avalia hayaka eka.
Light language, if you don't know, this is light language, known as light language, which are plasmic frequencies emanating from my wholeness to your wholeness, honoring it from an expanded heart.